Hello everyone, you're watching the program 2 Horsepower. My name is Rolf, and today, as you can see, you're waiting for a comparative test drive of 4 compact crossovers. 2 of them are Japanese and 2 European. Stay with us, it will be interesting. Braking we do as usual at 60 km per hour. The best Honda braking 12 meters 67 centimeters. The worst result 13-19 centimeters. The average result of 3 runs 12 meters 97 centimeters. The car is on Goodyear Ultra Grip Performance in size 215/60 R16. Best Mazda braking 13 meters 28 centimeters. Each next attempt only extends the braking distance. As a result, worst result 13 meters 95 centimeters, average 1361. BF Goodrich G-Force winter tire in size 215/55 R18. Peugeot starts from 1321. Its worst braking result is 1433. Average of 3 runs is 13 meters 58 centimeters. Peugeot runs on Nokia Nordman RS2 in size 215/60 R17. Best Puma braking 14 meters 13 centimeters. The worst result is almost 15 meters. The average result 1447. It wears Goodyear Ultra Grip S2 in size 215/55 R17. Overall first place for Honda, second for Peugeot, third with a minimum gap at the Mazda, and Ford goes fourth. So, the back seat of Honda HR-V. Plenty of space, my knees are practically my knees are not resting on the back of the driver's seat. The driver's seat is adjusted for me. Notice how much space there is for your feet. And also notice the super technology from Honda. It looks like this. The seat is assembled exactly the same. Naturally, you get extra cargo room. We have here unfortunately only one cigarette lighter, and we have no USB. But we have a place for your head. By the way, the lights are diode, and pay attention to the sign Puma is our partner. Yes, our partner. I designed this marketplace especially for you. If you want to buy a new car with a maximum discount, Puma is for you. Mazda CX-3. It's obvious that Mazda is almost the smallest compact crossover in this test. Here I'm sitting almost in a fetal position, my knees easily pressed through the driver's back. The only pleasure is that this driver is me. We have an armrest here. Now we will open it, and we have even places for cup holders. The interior is leather in this configuration, there are no USB ports in the back, there is not much space for the head too, it's cramped on the rear seats of Mazda, but it's expected. So, the back seat of Ford Puma. My knees are resting on the back of the seats. There is probably less space than in the Honda HR-V, but there are no USB ports and we have no armrest. As well as the place for the head, about the same as in Mazda. Well, for the front passengers there is a special groove here in front of them, can be seen. So the back seat of Peugeot. We have hard backrest, so I cannot push through the driver's back. We have leather seats themselves, beautifully made, stitched with baton. There is not a lot of space for a person 1 meter 90 centimeters tall, but if you're 5 centimeters shorter, in general, almost all of these crossovers will be comfortable. There will be no problems at all, and of course there are common things in these crossovers. There is a little head space, little knee space and very vertically installed seat backs. All cars pass the Serpentine without any excesses and in similar times. In one of the races, Puma and HR-V generally showed the same time, 11:84. Nevertheless, the best time is Ford Puma, second place is Mazda CX-3, the third is Honda HR-V, and an honorary fourth place is Peugeot 2008. In one of our previous comparative tests, we have already tested the active safety system of Peugeot 2008, and it did just perfect there. By the way, if you want, see this test, everything is very interesting there too. Okay, let's move to the next car. Worked well. At first we have beep, then the car stopped correctly enough at a distance of about 2 meters. Everything is working fine. Now the second try, and then we'll try the same on cruise and a bit more speed, about 40 kilometers per hour. Now it was an attempt at 30. Second attempt, everything happened a little harder, a little closer to the obstacle, but nevertheless, the Puma stopped, now driving on cruise control. And the cruise control was going 42 kilometers per hour. The Puma, from about 40 meters away, paid attention to the fact that ahead is an obstacle and very smoothly and gently stopped, about 3 meters from the obstacle. Everything is working very well and very correctly. Well, warning warned, even tried to hint that maybe something will go wrong. Something went wrong, then I have already slowed down in order not to collapse. Our tower is already definitely. Now will be attempt number 2. There was a sound signal, the dashboard icon was on, but the car refused to stop. I braked when I realized that the collision was inevitable. That's the story at this moment. Now I turn the cruise control on and see what happens with it. Well, you just saw it for yourselves. In fact, I just had to brake just to reduce the damage to the car and our crates. I'll be off now. Comrade cameraman, see if our hood is okay. Mazda braked on its own, but let's face it, while it was braking, half of my life still ran in front of my eyes. But nevertheless, we haven't hit another Mazda yet. Attempt number 2.
Другую Мазду не завалили. Попытка номер 2.
Or maybe I just got used to the fact that it will be extremely close to the car in front of you. Okay, now I turn on cruise control and go try to drive at speeds above 40 km per hour. In theory, Mazda is not required to do so, but maybe it will succeed. The car braked honestly, braked on its own, but partially braked the car ahead, in general 50-50. But as I told you, on cruise control at speeds above 40, Mazda should not do it. Clearly does below 30, and then we slowly managed. We broke not all Mazda CX-5 which were ahead, but only a half. I think it's good. Mazda is not a rare guest in our tests, and I more or less understand its behavior in conditions close to combat. But I still start with the warm-up. So right, at 55 km per hour, Mazda passes the shift like on rails, reliable and as safe as possible. The same story at speeds of 60 and 65 km per hour. It's not easy to stay on track even with the safety systems. At 70 km per hour. I'm out of the way, and that's probably the limit for a normal driver, especially under stress in an extraordinary situation. Ford Puma is very different from Mazda. It gives the impression of a very nimble car at 55 km per hour, and 60 km per hour the car just go effortlessly or even playfully. At 70, where the Mazda cuts in, it seems the Puma even has some margin. And it does, but at 75 km per hour, I don't come through the second gate. Peugeot 2008 manages the 55 km per hour and 60 km per hour marks as easily as the others. At 65, it begins to make some minor mistakes. But the way is taken. At 70 km per hour, it is close, but nevertheless, it still needs training to win. Honda, in the first stages, in anything does not lag behind its competitors. I'll say more. The mark of 65 and 70 km per hour, the car passes from the first time without a blunder, and doubts about their own abilities. However, the only blunder occurs at 75. But nevertheless, it also have done. Before we go on to the quarter-mile race, I offer you a short summary table with the characteristics of our cars. Who are not acquainted, press pause and eliminate illiteracy. The rest, watch the race. Unfortunately, for safety reasons, we were unable to conduct a simultaneous race at once for 4 cars, so participants were divided into pairs. Honda fought with Peugeot, Mazda with Ford in the first confrontation, and HR-V confidently beats 2008 and gives him at the finish line for about a half a body. In the second, Mazda beats Puma with a difference of 3 bodies at least. Immediately after that, Ford and Peugeot fight for the bronze medal, where an angry Puma defeats a saber-toothed lion cub. So Mazda and Honda are struggling for the first prize, but it does not end well for the last one. Mazda is not defeated that day. That is explained not only by the most powerful in this gang 2-liter engine, but also with a 4-wheel drive system which Mazda has, and the other do not. So guys, we again have arranged the most dishonest race on the planet Earth, but you were interested. Now about SAT, rather about prices. The most accessible Mazda CX-3 with all special prices costs 692,000 hryvnias. The most fat one 799. Honda HR-V from 699 up to 794,000 hryvnias. Peugeot 2008 from 611 up to 770,000 hryvnias. And at last Ford Puma from 755 up to 864,000 hryvnias. Well guys, you watched a comparative test drive of 4 compact crossovers. Many of you will surely ask questions. And why you have not told about the suspension, the noise, the kickdown, and here all that you love, guys. All this we showed you and told you in single test. Today we have shown you things that you will never see in other programs and in other projects. You were watching 2 horsepower. Don't forget to like and share this video.